So Paige Bueckers is looking like she's the guaranteed number 1 overall pick because, look, when it comes to Dominique Malonga, it's a tricky one. It is a tricky one with Malonga because she is very much boom or bust. Like, she could bust. Paige Bueckers is a 0% chance of busting. Like, at worst, Paige Bueckers walks in as the 30th best player in the WNBA. So, like, there's no chance that Paige Bueckers is a bust. But is she even going to go to the WNBA? So we have the narrative still being pushed here by, is that it? Where is it? By Howard Megdal. So, where is it? He does say something about Paige. I need to find where he talks about Paige. Here it is, sorry. I'm quite aware for public statements about not returning to Connecticut, but there's almost infinite possibilities of Paige Bueckers beyond the two choices of return to school or sign with the Wings after they pick her first in the draft. Even declaring for the draft isn't something she'll need to decide until the end of Connecticut season. But the typical speedboat race for top college players declare for the draft are not 48 hours following the final game, then go wherever you're selected doesn't apply here. For instance, she can declare for the draft, but make it clear to the Dallas Wings she will not sign with them. At that point, it is the Wings on the clock. Even if Bueckers and the Huskies win the national title April the 6th and Bueckers takes full 48 hours, it's a good 6 days until April the 14th. The reality is that's more than 6 days potentially. In this scenario, they hold Bueckers' rights for a full year. Critically, though, not after next year's draft. So they need to make a deal eventually to take advantage of those rights. And people were talking about that with Liz Kitley. They were talking about Liz Kitley, maybe if she didn't want to play for the Aces, going back into this year's draft. And that was the thing. If you miss your entire rookie season, no one's ever done it, but I think you can go back into the draft, which is mad. But obviously, it says I'll need to make a deal. Bueckers, though, she can do virtually anything she wants. She can sign overseas, sign a 7-figure deal in Turkish League. The Turkish League are not paying 7-figure deals. That was Russia. And 2, if she doesn't want to play in Dallas, I would be very confident she doesn't want to play in Russia. Turkey. You can be honest here. It is very unlikely that she wants to play in Turkey. She doesn't want to go to Dallas. She can join Unrivaled once she's a pro elsewhere. WNBA, Turkish League, or Athletes Unlimited. Athletes Unlimited? Get paid almost nothing? What is Mavericks Carter's new venture? $5 billion effort to start a new basketball league. Okay. Like, I don't know. I genuinely don't know what this will do. And it doesn't sound like it's a women's league. If it's a women's league and they got $5 billion, they can take over the WNBA tomorrow, but I have no idea. She can sign a deal for a video podcast to follow her around the world attending sporting events. She can monetize TikTok she makes with AZ Fudd, the world belongs back to. So can she not monetize her TikToks with anyone other than AZ Fudd? Like it says here, she can monetize TikTok she makes with AZ Fudd. Is it specific? Is it specific? I really want to ask Howard Megdal this. Is it specific? Can she only monetize TikToks when she's with AZ Fudd? This is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. Like, this sounds like it's a men's only league. They're getting $5 billion. Like, this doesn't sound like it's a women's league. To form an international basketball league that would serve as a rival to the NBA, not the WNBA. So she could either sign for a men's league, according to this, in Turkey when she doesn't want to go to Dallas, so she'll sign with Turkey. And consider this, it might not just be in Bueckers' best interest to play for Unrivaled for the WNBA. She has an equity stake in Unrivaled. For players as a whole, picture the scenario as January. WNBA and the league haven't yet agreed a deal. There's a lockout. Unrivaled Year 2 is looming. A Paige Bueckers set to debut there. A debut they could have spent months hyping. Like, even if Paige plays in the 2025 season, there's still Unrivaled season 2. The lockout is going to be after Unrivaled. So, like, it makes no odds. It makes no odds whatsoever. The only way that this makes sense is if Bueckers is going to be Paige bust. If she's not Paige Bucket, she's Paige bust. And she's not going to get the hype for Unrivaled. That's the only way. And that's not going to happen. She's basically bust-proof. The Year 2 is looming. Paige Bueckers set the debut. A debut to set Molden's hyping. Easy to see providing a ratings boost a lot bigger than forcing Unrivaled to hit the road. What? I'm sorry. There's literally one way where Unrivaled gets the rating boost. 2. And one has to be done to get the other. Make it 5v5. It has to be 5v5. And it can't be vacation basketball anymore. Simple. In short, it'd be the most beneficial thing. It may be the most beneficial thing Paige Bueckers would do for the WNBPA is to not play in the WNBA. Why does Paige care about what the WNBPA have to do with anything? She's not a WNBA player. What difference does that make? And not just for Unrivaled one-time benefit either, to stand up for player empowerment. So she's going to not play basketball to stand up for player empowerment. Or she could sign with Dallas for this amount of money and be bound to the team for the next 4 seasons, while even rookies who enter the league will earn several times more than she will. They might earn like 30 grand more. Rookies are not going to be coming in more than 120k a year. And she's Paige Bueckers. She's a millionaire. She has her own Nike shoe. What difference does 30 to 50k make realistically? To be clear, the outcome is very much in play. That outcome is very much in play. Bueckers will not be focused on the decision until after UConn season end. She's not shared the decision with the Wings, and multiple WNBA teams tell the Nine there is no indication which way she is leaning. Okay. That is interesting. Or is that the IX or the 9? I don't know. But that is interesting, though. This is the only... Okay, fair enough. This sounds like it's absolute nonsense, but this guy obviously knows more than I do. Like, Howard Megel obviously knows more than I do. This sounds like as much nonsense as the Bleacher Report list from yesterday. That was nonsense too. But again, if multiple WNBA teams are telling this publication that that there's no indication, they don't know what's going to happen, then I don't know. Because let's be real, if there was a chance that Paige Bueckers was going to just tell Dallas, no, I'm not playing there, then surely the Sparks don't trade number 2 under any circumstances. Because Paige, you're not getting Paige for a trade for Kelsey Plum. And then for the Wings, like the Wings, what can you get for Paige? Like, you would literally have to go to the Seattle Storm and take pick 2 from this year's draft, next year's Sparks pick. I think they have another pick from next year as well. Like, it would literally be, you'd have to give up maybe 4 first rounds. Your current for the pick number 2, just to go up 1 pick, you'll probably take pick 2 to 1, and you would then have to give up the Sparks pick next year, your pick next year, and maybe another pick. And that would be either another pick or, you know what, get a season of Jordan Horston. Just to get Jordan Horston on the team, which would be an interesting one as well. Because Jordan Horston would be a great player to play beside Enrique if she's healthy. Especially if Dejanay ends up walking. But still, it just doesn't seem like it makes any sense right now. It doesn't seem like Dallas is that bad a place to play. I don't think Texas, as far from everyone I know that lives in Texas, I'm from the north side of Dublin. Like, it's there's no 2 worlds more different, but it's a very different world anywhere stateside than where I currently live. But I just don't see why Paige Bueckers would have this much of an issue going to Dallas when Dallas is one of the biggest cities in America. Like, she probably would have preferred to go to the Sparks, but I just don't, like, the Wings aren't that bad. Like, she doesn't want to take over a game by herself. She can pass the ball to Enrique and go and watch Enrique, just like she spent quite a bit of the season watching Sarah Strong. So she can play her game. She can be a secondary, tertiary scorer, and Dallas aren't going to be that bad. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.